Well, I think we're live. Good evening. Just iron out a couple of final settings here. The TV doesn't have picture for some reason. How's everybody tonight? Good to see you back, chat. Let's see. Let's just put the word out on Twitter. There we go. I'm having to kind of shoot from the hip tonight because moving some furniture around and do not have access to my laptop right now. That's by necessity in another room. So I'm gonna have to have a PC monitor pull double duty. So if that means I don't get to check comments right away, apologies in advance. There you go. Okay. Wow, the meme is true. Turning my TV off and turning it back on fixed the picture. So we are ready to roll. That's right, chat. This is an excellent break from your homework, from the drudgery of your day. Just kick back, relax, and just slip into the world of Final Fantasy IV. It's a very cozy world. A world where napping is the national pastime. Alright, let's see where we left off. Oh, that's right. We got Edward. Are you guys ready to get spoony? It's happening. Nothing can stop it now. Let the spooniness commence. Let the spooniness resume. Alright, yeah! I got our little hovercraft. Look how cute this thing is. I believe it avoids random encounters. Alright, just 1 second, chat. Gotta check something. Chat lavishing praise on today's post on my blog, Kairos, which you can find at www.brianniemeyer.com. And it was a little cautionary tale about the movie Blow, starring Johnny Depp and Ray Liotta from back in 2001. It's a movie about the late 70s into the 80s drug war, but told as a biopic, really from the standpoint of one guy who was the highest-ranking American in the Medellin cartel, George Young. So it's largely biographical, and kind of like Scarface, or like Casino, or like Carlito's Way. You get to see George's meteoric rise and then precipitous fall as he trusts wrong people. Mostly because, as another commenter on my blog said, in the crime business, there really is no right person to trust. It just isn't. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's not a crime masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination. Blow isn't, but it's competently made. As one reviewer said, it's a tale well told. It's workmanlike. There's one iconic scene from it, which is where Bobcat Goldthwait tests the purity of George Young's Coke. He's like, I can't feel my face. I mean, I can touch it, but I can't feel it from the inside. So, that was a pleasure to see Bobcat. But one thing it teaches you is that money isn't real. Now, what does that mean? Well, I mean, for one thing, just in philosophical terms, as a medium of exchange, money doesn't have inherent value in itself, right? It's worth the objective value of the real goods you can get with it. And the message that Blow tries to impart, and that it took George himself 42 years to learn after his dad told him, is that it's really the intangibles that are the greatest value of money. Right? What's the best thing you can do with it? Well, really start and provide for a family. Because George loses his, like, twice. And he didn't finally learn his lesson until the second time. Now, as for the suggestion to review Falling Down with Michael Douglas, my take on that would almost certainly be different from what everyone thinks it would be, because it's very popular for people to say, oh, Falling Down is so based, it's this based and red-pilled movie. I don't think so. Superficially it is. Like, I think people who say that are really falling for the veneer Hollywood put on it to kind of stealth the subversion in. Like, Falling Down is highly subversive and mindful. Let's see here. Do that again. What's it? Alright, entering Endline Basement 1. There we go. That's what I need. Oh, I think we're gonna have some fun hidden passages here. The music volume is a bit high compared to my voice. How's that? Is that working better for you? Just let me know. Adjusted the volume a bit. Let's explore. Okay. Let's see if we can get up a bit here. Oh! Almost had it. Sensitivity on my D-pad is a bit higher than mine. Again. Alright. This'll double the experience. Boom. Brought him back to life. At 0 HP immediately killed him. Never saw him. As far as doing the resurrection trick, is it technically worth it to blow a life potion, resurrecting it in for the XP and gil? Well, it's not about the money. It's not really even about sending a message. It's just about fun. It's the fun of tweaking and exploiting the game. Whoa, these are huge turtles. These guys escaped. Some family bought these in Florida. Mom got tired of them, flushed them down the drain. They ended up here. Bro. And their resentment grew with their size. Oh, not too tough. Sound effectively hard. Yeah, no problem. Just racking up the levels. Little green-haired hellion. Switcher. Here's a poppin' tonight. A lot of that. Go on with the quick project. Ah, there's some cash. Guys out. See that we're killing on his own. Yep. Yeah, let's see if we can't grab that ruby. Rosa. That'll definitely help. Nice little rebellion here. Oh, just steamrolled him. Wasn't even close. These guys need up their game. Let's try something. This will. Okay. Yeah, got it. That'll give me some XP. Oh, look at the top of his head disappear as he goes away. Hey, and again level. Resurrecting that turtle was worth it. That's my story, I'm sticking to it. Let's see some of these cures we found. Yeah, that's tasty. I'm gonna have to nip myself, chat. Let's get the electrolytes, make us grave. Count rate's kinda high in here. Which ain't bad. It basically takes all of us mag dumping on this guy. Oh! Unless your hero rolls really well on the ice. Hard to predict. Oh, it's another 810. I love those here. I'm excited about that. Passages right here. I think they're later. Yeah. Open world games is Mad Lib, but I never thought of it that way. But that's right. I could probably just keep walking these guys for a while. Going that way a little faster. Excuse me. I'm gonna have the mute button on this mic, so you have to bear with me. Another one does, but USB ports on my PC have a short. Oh, that's interesting. See that trick work? These guys will work nice and water. That wasn't so bad. Just got one treasure chest. It's the same. Not here. Oh, we got a new harp. New harp for Edward. Wow. It doubles his killing power. And passages. That's even. Alright, just go with the harp. I'll take it. Oh wow. Are you seeing this? Is that as obvious? It's slightly less obvious than it is on my TV. Yeah, that was pretty obvious. So there are some advantages to playing these old games on HD monitors. Thanks for the double X. Yeah, the brown tones make the business stand out, but I remember playing this back in the day on the same gaming hardware, but a CRT, you could faintly make him out, but it wasn't that obvious. As my buddy David Stewart has pointed out with his own Final Fantasy playthroughs, I don't think there's anything up there. When you take an old analog signal like this and put it up on an HD display, it's like putting a pointillist painting under a microscope. Oh, nice. We charmed him. I'm still gonna kill him. He's not a threat anymore. He's in fact an asset now. Oh well, agency does the same thing. Nothing personal, just business. Wow, this harp is great. Really high effectiveness rate. Oh! Beat himself up? Hold a Tyler Durden there, look at that. That was epic. Okay, I think I missed some stuff back in the other half of the cave. Right, so I think that's the way down. Yeah, I missed that staircase on the right. Well, let's finish cleaning out this room and then go back. I'm just gonna spam attack. It's easy. Not worth effort. There we go. Yeah, go cry. Oh, nice payday. A couple little nooks and crannies in this cabin. And Edward, stop blocking attacks with your face, buddy. He's in the back row. I have to put him even lower. Oh, that's a nice chunk of tree right there. An equal amount of XP. I'll take it. Bonus. Alright, he's getting up there. He's climbing that ladder. Climb the ladder. Climb the ladder. Alright, let's try this. Not you. A small girl traipsing around in Antlion's dungeon. Just another lazy Saturday afternoon. First thing she gets hit. Right there. So that's okay, we're leveling up just fine. This game, even in the Japanese version, was designed so grinding really isn't necessary. Like, just playing through and like not running from the random encounters will get you to the level you need to be to take on most of the bosses. not being a bard. Final Fantasy IV. Stooping that low. Where this thing goes. Aha! So we get back up here. There's the safe spot. Thank you for the reminder. Safe spot. Oh, it's another A tent. Let me make sure we had one. Right, neighborly of them. So let's take a nap. What do you think? Just feeling like a nap anyway. Oh, and I see my co-host Dornall has joined me. What's up, buddy? Good to see you here. We're just leveling up the bard a bit for the showdown with the antlion. So we can get the ruby, so we can cure Rose's desert fever, so we can get a white wizard. Because, you know, RPGs are like that. This thing, you want X. Excuse me. But to get X, you need Y, which requires going to point A, but together you've got to go to site B and get item Z, and there's a big cathartic payoff when you finally get all your ducks in a row. It's a lot of fun. Oh boy. Flan type, which means the sword's probably not going to be too useful. Try it anyway. I wonder if they're resistant to sonic blasts. Yes, they are. Figure these guys out. Okay. Looks like ice does something. Shoot away that dude. Okay, interesting. So, with the sing command, it appears to be independent of which harp he has equipped. He's got a charm harp, and you put that guy to sleep. Good to know. Alright. Ice seems to be the ticket. Sleepify all these dudes. I don't think that's gonna help. Exit. Fight. That's weird. The audio suddenly got louder for me. What happened for you guys? Oh well, I'm using 30-year-old hardware. Anything could happen. Disastrous consequences. Okay, no, that's what they're actually weak to. So Dornall said they're color-coded. Apparently, their color is what they are weak to, not the reverse. Good to know. Okay, let's light them up. Sometimes they'll just automatically run and hide if it gets too low in HP in its layers. Cecil on. Oh, there he goes. Never mind. Hey, buddy. Hit the bench. Our work is done here. There it is. Still propping this guy up. It's good. Sean and Pete. Pretty good. Doing okay. Back on track. That's an interesting mix. Getting the hang of this. She's the weakest. Oh, nice. So I'm actually gonna leave her. Oh, nice reading. Oh, yeah. What we got? Take these guys apart. Or let them do it themselves. That works. So how was chat tonight? What's going on in your corner of the world, chat? The icy fingertips of creeping doom running up the backs of your necks. Little sunshine lollipops. I want to... because I care. It's been pretty busy for me. Got a big editing project I should be finishing up this week, and of course, forefront in my mind is fulfilling all the perks I promised to the backers of Comet Frame XCSS. Gotta get, I think the first thing I'll be working on is the Comet Frame Exceed RPG manual. Let me put it to chat, especially those who are backers, because I know I've got quite a few here. Which would you like first, chat? Would you like me to deliver on the Comet Frame Exceed RPG book, or the Classified Intel short story anthology collecting every Comet Frame Exceed short story in one place? Those are... I'm trying to do the Dave Ramsey snowball thing, where I get the relatively smaller projects taken care of first, and then move on to the big one, which is the actual novel. What's your pleasure? Alright, here goes. Oh, this will end well. Looks like this is going to be easy. I'm going to fight through all those turtles and evil genies and lizards and stuff, and imps. I'm just walking and take it. And I'm just going to be like, oh, you want a sand ruby? You want like, basically, my egg? Yeah, sure, here you go. Oh, stunning reversal. The one time this guy's brave. It's got to be traumatizing. Almost gets crushed by giant ant pincers. Or those mandibles. I think they are. Ansel's like, alright, time to go to work. I'm like, okay. Okay, yeah. So the brand new short story that I also offered to all backers, yeah, that's going to have to be finished before I do the anthology. It's going to be in it. So that would mean writing a short story first. Let's try putting this dude to sleep. Check out that sprite. I mean, wow. Tell me that's not a Brundle telepod accident. The Dornall is telling me to use magic attacks only. Okay. So the stingers are counterattacks. Well, if we can do a magic attack, may as well do it for free. Well, there we go. So now, with Cecil on heel duty. Okay, the antlion used to freak out as a kid, chat. Yeah, he's super freaky. Seriously, it looks like a monkey fused with an Insecticon or something. Oh, let's get serious. I mean, he's a pussycat when it comes to physical attacks. Big old mandibles, 1 damage. It's a powder puff. This week a Chocobo? The Chocobo never comes. I've tried calling the Chocobo. Alright. See if he shows up, see if he can be bothered. Roll out of the stall and get over here. Okay, I think it's more. By the way, how cool are those globes full of fire? Wow, look at that. Once again, Dornall, your input is much appreciated. Look at that man, there's summoning animation. I rarely say badass, but there's no word for that. So, here we have some world building. The antlion's natural enemy. The antlion has few predators other than the wily Chocobo. The two compete for resources somehow. Just learned something about Chocobo's chat. Natural predators of antlion. The antlion's only predator. I like to think Chocobos hunt in packs. Yes, Chad, Dornall is the Chocobo Whisperer. It's an enemy's position. He was appointed to it. By royal appointment. And he's backing out. Save time. There we go. Done and done. Oh, she learned stop. Look out. Look out, world. Okay. Fetch quest item obtained. And I was gonna go all emo on us again. Alright, so there's that theme. There was a mention in the excellent intro for the first stream that monsters are increasing, so now also apparently formerly benign animals are turning vicious. It's happening, chat. Yes, que indeed. I wonder if M. Night Shyamalan was inspired by this to make something much worse. I wonder if the increased aggression has something to do with it. Earth's gravitational pull. I love that line. Oh yes, it's like he forgot about Rosa. Like I forgot why we were here. I just got so absorbed in this discussion of animals suddenly turning rabid. I totally forgot about my sweetheart languishing in bed back in town. And I forgot Magic Line as well. Music. But unlike the White Magic version, this only takes up 1 floor at a time. Ooh. That's not worth it. Save outside. Oh. Not enough MP though. Alright. Fix that, I have plenty of A-tents. It's gonna remind me every time, isn't it? Oh, rise and shine. It's just cycling me back through floors now because I don't remember there being this many levels. Close enough. Yeah, that's good. Look at that, no encounters on the way out. I seem to recall there's a couple things you can do with the hovercraft at this point. Nothing too significant, but there are places you can visit. Shallows. Not necessarily. Okay. On with the show. Oh yeah, I think I can. Let's take a shortcut back to town. Yeah, that's right. That was pretty smooth. But remember where we parked. Whoop. Okay, we can beat on some enemies here. Oh, there we go. Alright. Second chance. Got him. Up. Oh well. Phase 3, Sandpede takedown. Oh, charmed the Sandpede. Can you imagine having that thing fawning over you? I picked you some flowers. Yes, the Chocobo kicking that line to death was epic. Glad he could make it. Some enjoy the celebration. Celebrating the victory for the headline. It's previously Edward's friend. Turned on him. Let's see here. Let's see what the best approach would be. Get some more stuff. Let's go pick some things up. Oh, but now the pack rat mentality comes into play. Because every time I think about selling one of these things, like, oh, what if I need it later? So, I mean, which isn't as weird as it sounds, because like the Shadow Sword I like to hold on to because Edge can throw it later. And the rod is pretty cool for non-elementally weak enemies. The other dime a dozen. Oh! And it looks like chat member Leonzi is going to be running his own game live stream Friday at 3 Eastern. 3 p.m. Go check that out if you get a chance. This cure's poison, so I'll keep a hold of that. Alright, so now we got quite a bankroll. And let's see. Quick inventory. Oh, sword. Why'd you put that stuff over there? Just sorted that stuff out last time. Oh well. No big deal. Good on heals. I could probably use some life, so you can always use one of those. Wow, I'm racking up the ethers. That's great. So let's do that. That's good for the time being. Much better. So now that more XCSS backers have shown up, I'll run the poll again. Which would you rather I deliver first, Chad? The Combat Frame Exceed role-playing game? Or the Classified Intel Exceed short story anthology? What's your opinion? Alright. Let's recruit a white wizard. Alright, check and check. I love the little pointer. It's smaller than the normal one. It pops up when you need to use an item on something on the screen. And I can only imagine what this looks like. What? For those who played this game, what do you think Cecil using the sand ruby looks like? I kind of picture him crushing it in his gauntleted fist and like sprinkling it on her, like Peter Pan theory does. Let's give it a good blow. I wonder if sand ruby, like ground sand ruby, is the cocaine of this world. Okay, so that's 2 votes for the anthology first. Okay, that's interesting. I would have thought that you guys would go for the game, seeing as how you're here watching a role-playing game. But okay. Guess we'll do the anthology first. Word gets around fast. So I know they've got to give the exposition here, but I wonder why he thinks she would know who Golbez is. That's interesting. He waved the ruby over her like a tricorder. That's a pretty cool visual. Oh. So the king fired you and gave Golbez your old job. Harsh. Plot thickens. Looks like Golbez and King of Baron have kind of a Sarman Theoden thing going on. The king has fallen under the sway of an evil wizard, chat. It's bad. What are we gonna do about it? We're probably gonna have Rita like freeze and stomp things with chocobos and ice. Little murder machine she is. Well, the Crystal Fire was in Damsian. See, within like a minute of reviving White Wizard, look at all this information we've gained. That's wizards for you. They know stuff. Don't mess with them. As Chad, in this case, a wizard did it. This girl is a tiny nascent god. Say hi. It's good to see different kinds of mages getting along. Whether you're white or green, we all bleed red. Well, just got the coof. Didn't work. Well, with Sand Ruby's 95% effective, there is always that 5%, and that's why they're indemnified. They're immune from civil prosecution. You can't sue over that. Sorry. I just picture the corner of her eye twitching after Rosa asked that. Serious case of fire bad. That's right, do not meddle with the affairs of wizards. Might end up as a mushroom. Delicious mushroom. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. So when I point out that this game is really the last time that they pair summoners with black magic, I'm talking about the game does it as part of the character class. Because people always bring up the objection, well, in like 10 or 12 you can teach summoners, black magic. No. Rydia comes with its standard. And Rosa's pointing out right there that in this world, summoning and black magic are like two sides of the same coin. Oh, wow. That's graduated to a hacking cough at this point. I mean, physician, heal thyself. There you go. White wizards won't bother you. Good to know. Big Edward's paying Cecil back to the little bunk to the noggin he gave him last night. Is it just me, or did it just get spoonier in here? In this case, Rosa is the little spoon. See, the little spoon doesn't make the rules, chat. A good question, chat. So chat would like to know if Aslan, the initial secondary antagonist, turned love interest, turned main protagonist of Soul Cycle, was inspired by Rydia. Not consciously, but I'd have to say, at least partly. I think there's some Rydia DNA in Aslan, although at no point is Rydia a elemental flame core wrapped in an enchanted brass shell, who like stealing people's thoughts. I don't know, their hair is kind of similar. I mean, just go from green to red. Okay, Edward, being out here at midnight in the Oasis, probably just wants to sell you insurance. Just don't make eye contact. Back away slowly. Oh, he didn't listen? Alright. See if we can trigger an apparition here. I think I can just stand here and, yeah, nothing really happens to me. See what happens if it, oh! I'm scared. I think this is just on the timer. Oh! Look at that! I have to wonder what the water hag makes of this. I mean, he's pretty brave. That's a freaking ghost just showed up. Okay, advantage. Look at that water hag. Really want to mess with this guy? He's got ghosts showing up and prophesying and stuff. It's like the Battle Salamis in your Persia. Not good, buddy. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, big strong end. Oh, great. She came, then she left. Now she's back. And now she's going again. See, if this were FF10, she could stick around. Perhaps turn into an Eldritch Horror or something. Okay, how cool is it that the ghost of his sweetheart murdered by Golbez shows up, gives him the courage to fight, and then issues a stern warning not to let Golbez have the crystals. And again, we're enhancing the crystal's mythology. That's what a good ruler does. Puts his people first. And she just drifts out over the water. Vanishes. It's poetic. Well, I think the game will fill in what he's supposed to do. Yeah, I thought that was going to be scripted assassination. Final Fantasy loves misdirection. Oh, hey. There's no Rosa in here at all. Oh, she's better. Oh, okay. Yeah. We're getting the band back together. So there's a kind of an intricate damage formula with bows. But I believe you actually want the bow itself in the offhand, yeah. Which makes sense if you think about it. I'm not going to be wasting those, though. Might be the best equipment we can get for them. Take care of her? Oh, yeah, let's show her a good time. Take her to a movie or something. Oh. That's what it would be. Yeah, that's about... The equipment I got is about the best I'm gonna find here. Just double check. Oh, is it a full moon tonight? Yeah, come chill. Just got Rosa in the party. I'm digging that 80s style character portrait. Super feathered hair. Okay. Just one more time. Might get some more cures. We'll climb a mountain. Meant to buy 4, but whatever. I seem to remember there are a lot of undead on mountains. They tend to hang out there. So yeah, let's hedge our bets. magic does she know? Not much. Man. Yeah, the wizarding schools have really lowered their standards these days, Chad. Like, that's all she needed for a degree? Really? Okay. We'll get her leveled up. Do some aggressive onboarding here. I wonder if there's any talk of the ghost. Anybody else see that? I was looking out a window. Kid. Has always seen ghosts. Oh, okay. So, townsman dialogue hasn't changed. So yeah, it's getting underway. In case you're just joining us, welcome to the Spoony stream. It's all spooniness all the time. I was playing some Final Fantasy IV. This is our third installment. Driving the hovercraft. We're on our way to a place called Fabul, where we're having fun. It is indeed fabulous. And it's fabulous to be here with you, Chad. I think we're going to say so long to the hovercraft for now. But we will return for it, that's a promise. So, cool thing about Final Fantasy IV. You'll notice that I have 4 party members, but there's still an open slot. And that's right, you can, at max, have a party of 5. And that's great for tackling a dungeon or having lunch at Chili's. We'll pull an extra chair over to the side of the table, Chat. That's fine. And that's one leg up that this game has over its successors. Is it in 5 and 6 they pull that extra chair out? Oh, here's a character moment. Yeah, C- white magic student. That's okay. That's okay. Real skills are learned in the real world, as I'm about to see. Little girl hates fire. Oh, check out that Bill Clinton to switch to passive voice. Right? Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. And who burned down our village again? Yeah, we don't have a sphere grid. I can't learn black magic. I certainly can't just go and purchase a fire rod, because I think those are in my city. See, if this were a tabletop RPG, some player could, like, some twink could take a look in the book or online or something, like, oh, well, they sell fire rods in my city, so I know we'll go back to Baron, right? Take out the guard on the Serpent Road, take the Serpent Road to my city, buy a fire rod, use that to melt the ice. Or you just have character overcome her weaknesses. Uh-oh. It knows all the elements now, Chad. Can't stop it. I mean, that's it. Zeramus is now doomed from this moment. It's over. We're just going through the motions now. So I just want to point out, academic. Homeschool success story. Okay. Just need to do some management here. All ducks in a row. That's better. And welcome to Scenic Mount Hobbs. So, there's a Leviathan in this game. There's a Mount Hobbs. It's like something trying to tell you somebody, chat. Okay. So right away we have no divergence. We had 2 paths we can take. Go with the left one. And yeah, you're the undead. So his sword is probably not going to do much. Oh, wow, they did not like to see me. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. It's probably only later undead. Let's fire out. Ah, okay. So notice Rosa does not have a pray command in this version. That would be Nintendo's censorship. But she does have the ability to take some extra time and aim for a call shot with her arrow, which can get her some increased range damage. Which honestly, I like better. This prayer is hit or miss. Aim, as the name says, pretty much always hits. There's some extra XP here. Oh, never can pull the trigger there. Alright, whatever. Not worth it at this point. Just beat him up. Oh. That's what happens when you mess around. Although, oh, that was a one. Alright, no big deal. Still getting the feel of these monsters again. We got a level out of it. So I'll call that a win. Yeah, I can't stand the Bard's Tunes. He's rolling in there with a boombox. Just blasting it. Windows are shaking. They can't handle his style. Alright. Make yourself useful, Professor. It's more efficient to do this individually. Look at how many points this cures. There we go. Got the range on the cure one. Right now we're getting in the flow. put Radiant on life potion duty. Double our XP and gil from those kills. Oof. Well, high variance in the damage that Explode does. Oh, nice. Alright, so now she's learned the spell. I don't have to keep using potions to do that. So mix some potions and magic. Change it up a bit. Yeah, good enough. There's these strategically placed blocks, making me navigate an obstacle course. I don't think Petrify is quite as bad in this game. Like, it happens in stages, unlike the previous installments. And flying enemies really do not like throw and arrow attacks. Wait, I might have just seen like the most millennial thing ever in chat. You really don't know what a boombox is? Okay. Look up a clip on YouTube. They should have it. James Bond Ghetto Blaster. It's a great scene. From, I think, The Living Daylights was one of the 80s Bonds. See, the Living Daylights are licensed to kill one of the adult ones. Excuse me, chat. My allergies are really going nuts. The weather we're having around here. But like Rosa, I will soldier on. Occasionally share wisdom with you. Yes, Rosa hates burbs. Right. I'm just gonna do DTS here. See, that's what happens if you don't aim. So I don't know if they just nerfed her normal ranged attack. Yeah, there's really no reason to ever not aim if you're gonna attack a Rosa. Find a more efficient way of taking these guys out. Oddly enough, being bombs, they're not weak to ice. Okay, what's Living Daylights? So you looked up the Ghetto Blaster? Nice. You mean someone made a Ghetto Blaster movie? Or someone moved a Ghetto Blaster? Oh! Someone in chat has a boombox with powered by hand crank. It's like one of those Bajan radios, the South African ones. Alright, so a few steps from the save point, and Not gonna lie, we got a little bruised. Should use some white magic. Still trying to find the most efficient way to deal with those bombs. I mean, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb, am I right? The track continues. We're done on arrows. Oh, she's fine. Aha! These guys are strong with fire. I knew the ones on Mount Ordeals were. I forget about these dudes. Oh, no problem. So, the undead on Mount Ordeals, which we'll see later, are strong both to Cecil's Dark Sword, and then, like, the Spirit guys, their equivalents, their palette swaps, absorb fire. So these guys still absorb fire, but they're weak to Dark Sword. A lot of info to juggle. That's okay. Oh, there's a Ghetto Blaster movie. I gotta look into that. What's that all about? Alright, you know that 5th place at the table that was empty? We're about to fill it. So, Fable renowned for its practice of karate. Well, this guy seems more like he knows kung fu to me. Oh no, he's got the desert fever too. And in later character art, they made this guy blonde for some reason. Now, he is, of course, the monk class. And for censorship reason, Nintendo thought it improved to call him monk. So we have black belt in the first game. Now he's just like, I believe his class is just called karate. Oh yeah. So, there's an interesting glitch here that I can't do because Rosa is not high enough level. But this boss has 2 forms, and it actually transforms as a counter. So if you can use effects and prevent a counterattack, you can keep it from ever changing form. You can keep it in this form. There are a few bosses like that. But the best way to keep it from triggering is to use the wall spell and bounce black magic off it onto the enemy, because that does not trigger transformation. I think that's like Charlie Brown. I don't know, I've not seen it. Color settings might be a little different. Oh, nice. Oh, here it comes. Let's slow it down. of that animation. Load on it. Try to blink or some other defensive spell. Might as well get ready for the blast. Ooh, third form. And so now, you can see the wonders of kick. Ouch. Down. So with 5 party members, you've always got options. That's what I like about it. And that's my trick. If ever considered being a guest on Ricardo Law's streams, is he still streaming? I just kind of tuned out. I don't really pay attention to comics. Just, I don't know. I'm not calling Nick a grifter per se, but just the whole comic skate scene seems super grifty to me. If you like it, more power to you. Like, I don't even know if he... I don't know, is he the guy that did comic stuff? Or, oh, no. No, he's doing, like, the Vic Mignogna stuff. That's right. I'm getting my, my 2018-2019, like, Stream.me crowd streams mixed up now. Because, see, there was this brief golden age of streaming after, like, it was after YouTube started really going after people in 2016, just demonetizing left and right, where like Stream.me popped up, that's when DLive popped up, and we had this brief flowering. I'm gonna take a break from the game for a second. Excuse me. Or like there was this brief bloom of countercultural streamers. So like you had the Kill stream on there, you had Mercada still on YouTube mainly, then you had Mediker on Stream.me, you had Southern Poverty Call Center. It was just good times, and then Stream.me went under. To this day, no one really knows the reason, and those guys all scattered to the 4 winds, and like a lot of them have never come back. But that's when I was really hardcore listening to like dissident streams, and I've just kind of fallen out of the habit. But okay, soapbox time. I tend to avoid a lot of other streams. Like there are a few that I'll do. Like I'll do my buddy David Stewart stream anytime. I'll do Geek Gab anytime. I'm doing it right now. Love going on with my boy John Delarose, because, you know, he mixes up with Comicscape, but the difference is he ships. Okay, he puts his money where his mouth is, he backs up his claims, and he actually gets his readers the products they pay for. But, and I've been on the kill stream a couple times, but just ask David Stewart. The driving engine behind YouTube popularity, especially in countercultural circles, is e-drama. One of the things that really turned me off from a lot of those streams was it's just about, oh, what this other YouTuber that we've now had falling out with, like what he said, or some gaffe he committed, or, oh, like, there was a Kiwi Farms or Discord leak, and look at these pictures, and I just don't have time for that. I don't care. It's soap operas for men. It's really not important at all. That's not what I mean by rebuilding the culture through art. It's just clickbait. And here's the thing I've written about and said, I think, on David's stream before. Can you gain quick fame and even fortune through outreach marketing? Yes. Outreach marketing does work. In the short term, it's the quick and easy path. Here's the problem. Once you start down that path, I mean, you know what I'm drawing on here. You have to keep it up. So to get away from the Star Wars analogy, it's like being a shark. Once you become an outrage streamer, you have to keep doing that. And you've got to constantly go stirring the pot, throwing rocks through the other guy's window. You've got to become this gadfly where you're always out to stir up more drama, because if the drama ever dies down, like if the Glowing Emperor ever goes out, you've got to start all over. Like the public moves on, the audience moves on, I should say, rather, because the kinds of folks who tune into those streams are dopamine junkies who get a vicarious thrill out of the e-drama itself, okay? And that's honestly not the kind of people I'm trying to attract. My audience are science fiction and fantasy fans who are dispossessed, disenfranchised by old pub and the death cult's infiltration of pop culture institutions. Okay. I'm going for the people who, you used to like Brand X before it got woke. And I'm not even talking big Brand X. I'm talking like, just even niche sci-fi and fantasy, like people who think out at Bates Bar, right? And just don't have a home anymore because obviously if you're a death cultist, you've got to be 100% up on the current fads, the current dogma as interpreted by the distributive magisterium, or you're gonna get it. It's just over. You're canceled. If you're on the legacy right, like basically an old school conservative or libertarian, if you're not a couple steps behind the current default position, well, then you're persona non grata, right? So, I mean, the inevitable over-the-window drift has led outfits that we thought, we thought were together with a plan, right? That we thought were trying to fight the death cult and the pop cult by taking pop culture back. They're adopting some of the exact same positions that, like, Scalzi would have had back in 2013. I mean, that's how it always goes. Yeah, exactly, Chat. Conservative Inc. gets paid by taking a dive and making it look good, although they're getting increasingly bad at making it believable. But anyway, end of the political rant. Let's play some games. That's why I really am not looking to expand my stream and podcast appearances too much, because it's just, excuse me, you're just not allowed to say stuff that matters. I mean, really, at this point, the enemy does have near total control of the organs of communication, of the popular narrative. So really, anyone who hasn't been canceled in some way, I mean, I don't want to get into tinfoil hat territory or purity spiral territory, but seriously, look at it. The people who haven't been canceled are really... They're the Washington Generals, okay? If you haven't been canceled in some way, you're probably at least on the bench of the Generals. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, Iconic is heels in the wrestling arena of your politics. Looks like there should be something over there, but there isn't. So I don't know, I'm just gonna keep making my art, playing my games, giving you guys entertainment. So, okay, to shift gears a bit to an adjacent subject, right? So much is made of taking out the culture. Yeah, we're gonna produce this book, this comic, this movie, this webisode, right? To strike a blow in the culture war. Well, how would you do it exactly? Because lately, the lion's share of my work has been dedicated toward helping other artists, particularly writers, get their work in front of you guys, in front of the people who actually just want to be entertained, you don't want to be preached to. And I know there are a lot of new writers, aspiring authors out there, not the emo drama queens from the M writing hashtag, but who are serious on their craft and reach an audience and God willing make money at it. But there's this idea that, okay, what we need to do, like the way to succeed in the arts and the counterculture, and the way to make counterculture art that gets noticed is just look at what the pop cult is doing and just invert the tropes. Okay? Now this isn't addressed to anyone in particular, because for example, Bradford Walker, I think is one of the guys who's doing this right, the Star Knight Saga. I edited the first book of that, and he did a good job coming up with an alternative vision of, well, what would the future look like if Christendom rose to prominence again, right? But I do see too many new authors who submit like, oh, here's my first stab at a short story or a novel, and I really want to make off invention in the game. And for want of a better term, it's still message fic. I don't know, it's not quite message fic, but they use the same template as a pop cult, but just they play Mad Libs with it. They just substitute like just for example, overt Christian imagery in terms for like the progressive stack or intersectional terms and stuff, if you know what I'm saying. And what they forget is the story. When we say that the story's got to come first, the story's got to come first. And what I think it is that because the Death Cult has seized control of the institutions, including the schools. Did I say that? I'm going to say it again. People just aren't being taught what a story is. Like, I see a huge dearth of basic knowledge of what's a story structure, even like basic punctuation and grammar. And I'll spare you the nuts and bolts, but you'll write a story, I'll tell you what a story is. So a story is a protagonist who's a character who wants something. A protagonist is a character with a goal. So bringing it around, we have Cecil here. He's a protagonist in this game. So at this point, what he wants is to liberate Baron from its tyrannical king by gathering a ragtag resistance force and mounting a rebellion. Okay. So he's a great protagonist example. So you've got your protagonist, you've got his goal. It's got to be concrete. Okay, it can't just be like, I want to be successful. Okay, well, what do you want to be successful at, right? Or even, I want to be happy. Well, how? It's got to be, I want to be happy by obtaining this concrete thing, by achieving this goal. Okay? But even that's not a story. Because a story requires conflict. So what you then need is an inciting incident. Honestly, Rydia works really well here. Okay, she's got the Luke Skywalker background. Her inciting incident is, well, these two knights rolled up and burned down my village. Before that, she was just a kid, happy-go-lucky little girl living with her mom in her idyllic, hidden, misty village. And now she's become a child soldier, as Chad's pointed out. Is that inciting incident? And that inciting incident is usually put into play by the antagonist. In this case, Golbez did it through Cecil and Kine. And now Golbez is antagging. He does what antagonists do. He's placing obstacles in the way of the protagonists. And we are now, even now, fighting these monsters, which Golbez has riled up, just to kind of shake in the bushes and see what's coming out, and pursue our goal. So to break it down, the story is protagonist who is out in pursuit of a concrete goal, driven by an inciting incident, who encounters obstacles placed in his way by the antagonist, which he strives to overcome. If you don't have all those elements, you don't have a story. Because the interplay between the protagonist and antagonist generates conflict, which gives rise to dramatic tension. And dramatic tension is what keeps people reading. That's what readers want. Readers want character and conflict. So the upshot, check my map here, for new writers is, oh good, I'm on track. Okay, you might have the best thought out, most lavishly drawn backstory. You've done years of world building. You've got, there's this ironclad magic system. You might even have some great characters. But if the character does not want something concrete, if he does not face opposition to obtaining that thing, there's going to be no dramatic tension, there's going to be no conflict, you're not going to have a story. You're just not. So practice that first, then worry about the proper moral you want to get across. And then worry about theme. Too many people put theme first. Gotta have story first. Okay? Yes, Chad, I am saying that too many non-progressive new riders don't get this basic stuff. As you can see, this is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. It's kind of distracting me from the game. We still got a little bruise with Edward Payne to level up. So it's a win-win. I should be able to use an A-tent. Ooh, second last one. We have to restock on those. But we got through. Yeah, good point. So, Chad Riley points out that a lot of postmodern fiction comes from a nihilistic worldview, and the protagonist is really villain. They like villain protagonists, they like moral ambiguity. Name of the Wind is a great example. Professor's Quoth is a sociopath. He's not a likable guy at all. He's just hyper competent. He's got the competency dial turned all the way up, which is why it's really the only reason people like him. But what he does with that competency is really self-serving. And the reason you get some characters like that is because the Death Cult has driven out Christian morality, which used to prevail in the West, and replaced it with its own. And really, they've set themselves up a nice, tidy feedback loop where they pour their twisted moral vision into the cultural institutions, which then broadcast into the popular culture, and it's self-reinforcing. And yeah, you really got to go to the pulps and indies. People look to the pulps and indies to find genuine heroism again. So my advice to new writers would be, give it to them, but don't just focus on your hero's virtues. You've got to show. I mean, this is what show don't tell means. You've got to show. You've got to put him in circumstances where his virtues are tested, i.e., conflicts, and give him the chance to display those virtues under fire, which itself displays a courage of the virtue of courage. Courage is the virtue which allows you to exercise all the other virtues under difficult conditions against opposition. Alright, let's see if this has become a writing stream. So yeah. And anyway, we made it to the next location of the game, so for the last few minutes here, I'll just address chat. So, yeah, speaking of the am writing folks, right, who just lament their pitiful lot as tortured artistes, right? I mean, why would you do this if you don't like it? That's exactly that's a different kind of e-drama, right? Those aren't writers, those are dopamine junkies who are just fishing for sympathy and want to be patted on the back and commiserated with. If you're a writer, you're right. Go back to Aristotle. You're defined by what you do with ease and skill. Okay? Like, you guys who have day jobs, like if you're an insurance adjuster, while you're insurance adjusting, I mean, you might, while unwinding at the pub after work, complain about a particular client or your boss or something, but like doing an actuarial table or like doing extra paperwork, you do it like with one hand tied around your back. Like, the idea is you should be good at what you do for a living. That's what a professional is. It should be almost effortless. So by definition, people who are just complaining about what a torturous, enervating process writing is, well, they probably suck at it, to be honest. They probably haven't put a lot of time or thought into the basics of writing that I just talked about. See, lots of show don't tell examples of promotions. Yeah, exactly. I can't tell you how many times I've been editing a manuscript, and the narrator just tells you how a character feels, right? Like, well, with anger welling up inside of him, the protagonist said, no. You write the line and then use the dialogue tag. The protagonist snapped. The protagonist growled. You can replace an entire sentence of telling with one strong dialogue tag. Yeah, don't use 7 words you can get away with 5. Don't use 5 when you can use 3. Because that is one key area in which I do depart from the pulse a bit. It ain't 1927 anymore. Your book is competing with smartphones and sports ball and beer for people's attention. You gotta get in. You gotta deliver the goods. You gotta get out. So there is no time for purple prose. Gotta be concise. Literary obesity is not your friend. Exactly. I mean, even back in the day, Shakespeare said brevity's the soul of wit, and he was right. Yes, that's right, Chad. You are competing with video games. Which brings up something else. I've said before, books are not head movies. A lot of authors, since we're immersed in visual media these days, like I can tell. It comes through the way they write. When they sit down to write, they play a little movie in their heads of what the book is. So they imagine the book is like a movie up on the screen, and then they take dictation. So the book reads like someone describing his favorite scene from an action movie to you. Do not do that. Because that locks people into the tropes and tools of filmmaking and denies authors the unique tricks of the trade that we have. And guys, let me tell you, we can do stuff that film directors become green with envy over. We can do something like they can only dream about. Like easily getting into a character's head without a David Lynch style voiceover. But yeah, and now we're coming across the problem of people writing video games or video game cutscenes and action feeling like watching 5 minutes of a Gears of War Let's Play. That's not how you want to write action. You want to paint with a broad brush and keep track of character positioning. Keep track of every character involved in a conflict relative to the setting and every other character at all times, and then use big broad strokes. And here, I'll give you some nuts and bolts advice. Here's how to write an action paragraph, okay? You tell exactly how to structure for maximum impact. You start with small, almost clipped sentences and gradually lengthen them throughout a paragraph which describes action until in the final sentence of the paragraph you just unleash the floodgates and the big old, almost rambling sentence, because that eases the reader into it. That's how you evoke a feeling of mounting tension in a paragraph, using structure alone. That's excellent point, chat. With books, you can gloss over stuff that films have to show. That's a great point. That you can do a lot with subtlety and implication and word choices. Okay. So, chat's talking about show don't tell. Show don't tell is vitally important for books. And I can see the confusion here in talking about how well books aren't movies. So I'm not saying tell don't show. It's just that most people like with Chekhov's gun, they don't understand what the show don't tell advice means as applied to books. What it basically means is don't let the narrator get in the way. Don't have the narrator doing the character's job, right? It really has to do with brevity. So I just gave you a book example, which is instead of using a belabor dialogue tag like he said angrily, he snapped. He barked, he growled. It's more about word choice. You have to go to writing friends and get book examples. Well, I mean, it makes sense because that's our trade. And there are other book examples, but I don't have it in front of me right now. But yeah, okay. So that was the Spoony stream, which transitioned into the right stream. So I used to do a show called On the Books. You should be able to find the old episodes in the Geek archives. I believe there's a playlist where I have other authors on and talk about writing. It should make a good time capsule from back in the day, like the heady days of 2017 or so. There's a lot of WriterTube is geared toward old pub and in Hollywood. Meadowood, yeah, it is. I mean, that's a dead giveaway. I mean, if you see an author or anyone who gives advice to authors, like not just dismissing going through old pub out of hand, like seriously block that person, just ignore that person. It's just a pop cultist or worse, a death cultist, because yeah, old pub is dead. Now, what I'm not saying is that they got woke and went broke because, as you've seen, their megacore parent companies will just keep funneling money into them. And I mean, if they have to lose $1 billion to inculcate readers further in the death cult, they'll lose $1 billion gladly. But it's creatively dead, and it's a dead end in terms of writer careers. Like, think about this, like the last superstar, like the last biggest writer in the world that they were able to produce was J.K. Rowling. I don't know. Or perhaps like 50 Shades or Twilight, but I mean, they didn't even manage sort of a lasting cultural impact, though. They're really more the Avatar of books. So I mean, you're not going to be the next Stephen King. You're not going to be the next J.K. Rowling. You're not going to be the next James Patterson. That's over. They don't have the distribution channel anymore, right? I mean, COVID put a crimp on the paper supply, because old pubs are really in the lumber business, not the book business. They rely on vertically integrated paper distribution. Barnes & Noble is a shell of its former self. It has only not collapsed because of the megacore old boys club keeping it afloat. So yeah, if you want to be a writer, new pub is the only way to go. Like again, unless you're willing to burn your pinch of incense in the death cult, and then what you get is, you get a sinecure. Like you have to totally base yourself and fall into vociferous and frequent self-loathing, but they'll set you up with a trendy walk-up apartment in the village, and when you're not writing, you'll get some extra cash as an adjunct faculty lecturer, or they'll give you your own writer's workshop, right? All you gotta do is lie. You just gotta lie. You gotta lie to people and yourself. And at the end of the day, you'll be found dead of insulin shock under your kitchen table, surrounded by ho-ho wrappers, with your soft tissues eaten by your cats. Not a bad deal, right? And in the meantime, you get to live like a quarter as well as Nick Cole, Jason Onsbach, with none of the freedom. So there's the deal. Okay. So, you have two choices before you have life and death, blessing and curse. Choose wisely. I'm going to take off here. Made some good progress. Had a rousing conversation. It was honestly the kind of chat engagement I've been hoping for, and I'm glad we finally got it. I'm glad that all of you could show up, enjoy the game, enjoy some lively intellectual exchange. So, I'm going to call it here. So please, remember to like this episode if you did like it. Make sure to subscribe to Geek Gab. Make sure to hit the bell icon so you'll be informed of future streams. The next one's coming up tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Central, 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific. If you like this style of techno, magic, fantasy, sci-fi, check out my first hit book, Ethereal. First book in my award-winning Soul Cycle. You can find a link to it in the show notes. And make sure to check out my co-host Dornall's Saturday streams on Geek Gab. And be sure to pray for the return of Daddy Warpig, the founder of all this. This is his empire. We're just keeping it warm for him. So, thanks for showing up and getting spoony with me. Take care. I will see you next time.